Very happy to see you back today. Hope you're all doing very well with your CT6. Get ready. You have your CT very soon. That's on 23rd. So get ready to write your CT nicely. And for that you require to revise the lessons which we have given under the syllabus. Okay. Whatever the lessons that are there under syllabus must be revised properly. And as you all know that even if the test schedule is going on, okay, the offline and online classes will go as it is. Okay, there is no changes in the timetable. There are no changes in the taking up the lessons. So in the previous class we have already gone through the great stone face part 1, and today we will go through the great stone face part 2. In great stone face part 1, two different characters we thought that they might be noble, but they haven't got the likeness of the stone face, and they regarded as the quite normal people, how they born into that valley of prophecy. According to the olden belief, the traditional way of believing things in that particular valley, that is the valley of prophecy, people thought that there comes a noble man, there will born a noble person, because of whom the whole or the entire valley would be getting the laurels. Okay, the people of that valley, the inhabitants of that valley would become so popular, and the person also would be getting the likeness of the stone face, because his face resembles the stone face. According to the belief, the face of that noble person gets the resemblance of or the exact figure or exact features of the stone face. But they were looking so close to that stone face, but finally we came to know that none of these two members have got the likeness of the stone face. The first one is the Gathergold. He became old and finally he was dead in the same valley, but he hadn't got the likeness of the stone face. And secondly, Blooded Thunder, who was a commander, who was a soldier. Actually he started his career as a soldier, later he became a general, and finally at the time of his retirement he just retired as a commander. Okay, let us come to the second part of the stone, the great stone face. Let's see what's gonna happen here. Afterwards we will go through the textual exercises. Let us come to page number, it's 132. Okay. Before you read, there is a nice picture of the stone face and the valley consisting some houses and the greenery around. Before you read, many years passed, Ernest was now a man of middle age. See, we started the lesson as knowing that Ernest was just a mere child. After coming to this part 2, we came to know that Ernest had grown to a middle-aged boy. To his neighbors, who never suspected that he was anything more than an ordinary and familiar face, he was only a humble and hardworking, though thoughtful and person. See, every single neighbor of Ernest knows Ernest as a hardworking person and a humble boy, though thoughtful and person. He was such a thoughtful person like his mother. So you just imagine, so when this child is grown into a young boy, definitely his mother has got too old. We don't know whether mother is alive or dead. We will be coming to know. But everybody, every single neighbor, because in the first part we have seen that he was such a neighborly person, helping hand to his mother. He was such a great helper to his mother. Not only to his mother he was helpful, but also to the entire valley. Everybody knows him as a gentleman, and everybody knows him as a thoughtful boy, clever boy, and also a clever man, but now we can call him as man, very hardworking and humble. Being humble is one of the greatest qualities. Every one of us must grow to that level of getting a good name like a humble personality. Even if you become a great person, maybe even if you are doing any good cadre job, maybe you have become supposed to take one of the prominent personalities in your locality or maybe in your own city or town, but you should grow like a humble person. Okay, being humble itself is a kind of virtue. It's a virtue. Okay, when we wanted to live our lives as a virtuous person, certain virtues or certain features we need to have, especially good qualities. By our qualities only, our character can be assessed. How can we assess the character of a person? By their good qualities. How can we come to know that the bad qualities or the good qualities of a person? How can we come to know? We come to know whenever we observe them very closely. So what is our duty? Not only just pointing out the people and observing other personality. We need to check ourselves before we wanted to find fault with somebody. Usually people would like to find fault with the people. So we are not supposed to do that. What should be our duty? Of course you can, but try to make yourself correct. Try to make yourself so perfect. Unless you have goodness in you, you have no right to find fault with others. Okay, some people, they just wanted to find fault with others and they wanted to criticize people. But here you see, this boy was being observed by his neighbors very closely. Okay, certain qualities are written here. He was very humble, hardworking man, and but he was also thoughtful person. Thoughtful and person. I don't know what does it mean by person here. As a person, he is a very good boy or a very good man, and he was at the same time he was very thoughtful. He was very thoughtful and also humble person. Everybody around his neighborhood, okay, really praises him a lot. Everybody praises him a lot for his good qualities. Okay, but what about the old prophecy? Was it ever fulfilled? Still the prophecy of that valley should be fulfilled. Everybody talks, but it is not happening. Many ancestors have lived their lives and passed away, but still the prophecy had not come true. Everybody is still waiting, the generations after generations. They are waiting that, they are all eagerly waiting for the prophecy to come true. But for everybody's surprise, this prophecy had not come true. It was not fulfilled. Let us read and find out. So now we have to read and find out what are the facts associated with. The years hurried on, years passed on, and brought white hairs upon the head of Ernest, and made wrinkles across his forehead and furrows in his cheeks. He was an old man, but not in vain had he grown old. More numerous than the white hairs on his head were wise thoughts in his mind. See, the white hair, or actually here it is written white hairs, but we should say grey hair. The hair is turned, the black hair is turned grey, and it is nothing but the days passed so soon, and Ernest became so old, and his forehead has developed some wrinkles, and his cheeks have got furrows. Okay, furrows. That means uneven places on his cheeks can be seen, and more white hairs were growing on his head, in the sense more wise thoughts were running into his mind or in his brain. His brain is very sharp. This man was such a thoughtful person. Many white hats were grown on his, white hats were there upon his head. See, but not in vain. There was no vain, there was no pain. Vain in the sense here, he was not vexed. He was not vexed. He was still waiting for the person to come up. Okay, he's still waiting for the man to come up. Okay, and he's still waiting for a noble man's birth. And had he grown old, more numerous than the white hairs on his head were the wise thoughts. Actually, more white hair which was growing on his head is directly equal to, or it senses that, it gives a kind of sense that he had got too many wise thoughts in his mind. See, and Ernest had ceased to be obscure. Obscure means not well known. And Ernest has ceased means stopped to be obscure, unsought for. Okay, sought, unsought. Seek, seek past form is sought. Unsought means he didn't seek anything. Unsought for, undesired. He had no desires. He had not required to know anything. Okay, he was obscure means not very well known to the people, because since he got old, maybe he just permitted to his four-walled rooms, at his home, and maybe I think his mother was already passed away. Had come the fame which so many seek. Undesired had come the fame which so many seek. He had become famous beyond the limits of the valley. He has become very famous. Since he stayed at home and he was not moving out of his house much, even then he became very popular. Can you please tell me what's the reason for getting more popularity? Because of his goodness, because of his helping nature, because of understanding the people, because of showing sympathy upon the people, those who are got into troubles and worries. Okay? And this man, being at home also, became very popular. Okay? And he was undesired, unsought for, undesired had come the fame. So how did the fame come to him? The fame and name had come to him, unknowingly. That means he never knew that he has become so popular among the people. Okay, those who are seeking for getting famous and getting name, they were not at all getting it. A person who doesn't know that he became so popular has become popular. See, there is one saying, no? Whenever we keep calm and quiet, the things will take its own place. We are not required to know about it. We are not required to, desires everybody is having. But over desire is also not good, no? Okay, getting more and much over desiring is also not good. Here this man stayed at home. Maybe he was helping out the people, whoever is very close to him, but he became very popular. College professors, even the active men of cities, came from far to see and converse with Ernest, and he received them with a gentle sincerity and spoke freely with them of whatever came uppermost. Who were coming to meet him? College professors. Why college professors and some active men from different cities are coming to visit Ernest, because of his? He has got brains, very brilliant boy, very clever. Okay, most of the things he could be able to solve. Most of the problems he can solve, and he also can converse with the people and give them some good advices and suggestions. In order to get good advices and suggestions, most of the people are coming from other cities and towns to see Ernest. College professors were coming. He didn't go to any college. He didn't go to any big cities for getting his studies. Okay, in order to continue his studies, he didn't go out. But the people started coming to him in order to get the suggestions and good ideas and advices from him. Okay, likewise he became very popular. How he talks to the people, how he converses with the people, you know. He converses with the people with gentle sincerity. What kind of sincerity? Gentle sincerity. He is such a sincere man, very gentle man he is, and spoke freely with them of whatever came uppermost. Whatever it comes to him, he used to speak to them. He used to give them good ideas and suggestions, or lay deepest in his heart or their own. While they talked together, his face would brighten unawares and shine upon them as with a mild evening light. Whenever the people were conversing with him, so when the conversation is going with some other person, he never gets tensed. He never speak whatever it comes to his mouth. He speaks with gentle sincerity and very soft spoken person, and he never speak rubbish. Whatever he speaks, there will be some sensibility, and with the sense only he is speaking to the people. And whenever he was conversating with the people, his face always shines like how the evening sun can be seen. It shines upon them. While they talked together, his face would brighten. Whenever he starts speaking with the people, his face brightens much, unawares. But he doesn't know anything what's happening, and shine upon them. And the glow that is emitting out of his face is usually reflecting on the faces or the person who have come to meet him. As with a mild evening light, how does it look? It looks as if it is the mild evening light. How does the mild evening light looks? In the same way, the way he's talking to the people, the way he's treating the people, at that time, the shine or the glow that falls directly upon the person, whoever stands or sits or situates right in front of him. While Ernest had been growing old, when Ernest was growing old, God had granted a new poet to this earth. When Ernest was growing up child, by the time, actually the stone face, the great stone face had a great likeness towards Ernest. That's why this stone face would like to teach him how much as possible. How long he wants to teach him, he was teaching. See, sometimes teachers would like to ask as many questions as they like. But children sometimes they don't like to be questioned. Oh, if this ma'am comes, no, she will be keeping on asking certain questions. We should be alert. If this sir comes, no, this sir would be asking the questions on whatever the topic that he had already taught us before in the class. So you would be having a kind of tense. But here, so Ernest, the great stone face, when he started teaching the lessons to this Ernest, it never get tired. As long as Ernest had the interest to learn the things, he used to taught him. See, let us come. While Ernest had been growing old, God had granted a new poet to this earth. So right from his, because Ernest likes the nature, he became the nature poet. God has made Ernest as a poet. So he brought a new poet to this earth. He too was a native of the valley, but had spent the greater part of his life in distant cities. Of course, this Ernest was also belonged to the same valley. While Ernest had been growing old, God had granted a new poet to this earth. He too was a native. That means, this is not regarding Ernest. When Ernest was getting old, there came a poet. Okay, it means he is also a native of the valley. He was born and brought up in this particular valley of prophecy. But when he was getting the age, he was being sent to other cities and colleges for his higher studies. But had spent the greater part of his life in distant cities. Where did he study? In distant cities. And pouring out his sweet music everywhere. Since he was a poet, wherever he goes now, he used to use his talent of singing poetry. So he was getting very good name and fame like Galagold and the Blood and Thunder in the same way. Neither was the great stone face forgotten, for the poet had celebrated it in a poem. Neither was the great stone face forgotten. Actually, all these things were in the notice of the great stone face. Great stone face was not forgotten the boy who had become a poet and went out of this valley and studied in some faraway lands, in faraway cities. For the poet had celebrated it in a poem. So what he was doing it? He was celebrating in his poem in the sense he was enjoying singing poetry. He was enjoying the knowledge that he had gained. So that satisfaction is with him. So, neither was the great stone face forgotten, for the poet had celebrated it in the poem. The songs of this poet found their way to Ernest. He read them after his customary toil. Seated on the bench before his cottage door, as he read, he lifted his eyes to the mountain. So finally, some poetry or some poems or some songs of this poet have reached even the old Ernest. So Ernest is also very much interested to learn the poetry. So he grew interested. Okay, he grew interest in reading these poems, and casually after his day's work, after his household, what he was doing he was singing and reading those poems, and he was getting pleasure. One day, he had sat right in front of the great stone face near his door, and this was just a customary toil. What does it mean by customary toil? It was his usual work. After the day's work, after his household, he used to sit near the door of his cottage, and he usually looks at the great stone face and starts singing the poems, or he was killing his time like that. And seated on the bench, there was one bench before his cottage door. As he read, he lifted his eyes to the mountain. While he was reading out that poem or singing out that poem, he happened to see the mountain. "Oh, great stone face," he said, "is not this man worthy to be here like this? Oh, how long do we need to wait for the person to come? I think you didn't find any likeness in most of the people, those who have taken birth in this land. I just wanted to know whether this poet who was being growing so well and already got some name and fame, I hope this time your likeness is towards this young poet." What would be the answer? Or what would this great stone face might have told this Ernest, you see? The face seemed to smile but did not answer. Usually, he speaks to stone face, and stone face, if it is agreeing with any of the things, no, it is giving reply to Ernest. But this time, it smiled but not given any answer. Simply smiling is a kind of wishing, but it is not giving response, no? If it is not giving response, in the sense we can understand that it has no likeness towards the poet. Okay, it has no likeness towards the poet. And now it happened that the poet, though he lived so far away, had not only heard of Ernest, but had thought much about his character and wished to meet this man whose wisdom walked hand in hand with the noble simplicity of his life. Actually, this poet is living his pious life, Actually, there was no problem with his character, but I don't know why this great stone face had no likeness towards this poet. I don't know. So now it had happened that the poet, though he lived so far away, of course he was living very far away, had not only heard of Ernest, he heard of Ernest, but had thought much about his character. He heard much about his character. He heard, he had not seen, the poet had not seen him, but he had heard much about the Ernest. Okay, and wished to meet this man whose wisdom walked hand in hand with the noble simplicity of his life. So that poet on his side, from his end, he just wanted to come and see, or he wanted to come and meet Ernest, because his simplicity of his life is moving or walked in hand. What does it mean by walk hand in hand? Means everybody started speaking about the goodness and the character building and some good features of Ernest. But Ernest is thinking that the poet might be the likeness of the great stone face. See, each one of us, each one of them were thinking about each other without knowing both of them. See, they don't know each other, but both of them are thinking about each other. This is somewhat mysterious and somewhat little wondrous thing, no? We don't know about somebody, but we will come to know about somebody's greatness in the sense we just wanted to go and see them. In the same way, the poet also prepared his mind to go and see Ernest, how he looks and what he does. Okay? And what did he do? One summer day, therefore, he arrived at Ernest's door, where he found the good old man holding a book in his hand, which he read, and then, with a finger between the leaves, looked lovingly at the great stone face. See, one summer day, it was the summer season, one particular day, therefore, he arrived at Ernest's door. Finally, he found the address of Ernest, and he had come to see him. What was Ernest doing by the time this poet had arrived in? He was reading the poetry of this poet, and he was enjoying the poetry. Actually, he was such an excellent poet, and he had written many poems. Among those poems, some of them are Ernest's favorite ones, and he was reading them. He read them after his custom, where he found the good old man holding a book. The moment he arrived at his door, what Ernest was doing, he was holding a book like me, and he was reading the poetry, which he read, and then with the finger between the leaves, he put up his fingers. It means he wanted to come again, or maybe he wanted to move further. So he put his fingers in between the leaves. Leaves means here the pages of the book, and looked lovingly at the great stone face. What he was doing? He was looking at the great stone face with a loving kindness. He was just smiling, or lovingly he was looking at the great stone face. So what is a conversation that would take place between them? We will come to know in the next class. Until we meet again, goodbye children. You are all requested to read the textbook. Most of your parents are complaining that my child, after finishing or after watching the offline or online class, he is not opening his book. I don't know what's wrong with my child. Maybe because of this year, due to COVID, most of us or none of us got the chance to come to school. So actually, the real sincerity should grow at home, and you feel responsibility of your own studies, and please take your textbooks and revise the lessons and try to learn the concept. Understand children? Even if your teacher is not right in front of you physically, but you should feel the presence of the teacher in front of you whenever you are revising or learning lessons. Thank you children. Hope we'll meet again. and prepare well for your CG6. Thank you all.